There are moments in life when the world seems to pause and watch. A moment when words are expected. A moment when everyone around waits for a reaction. They look at you carefully, almost impatiently. Perhaps they said something sharp, perhaps something unfair, perhaps something meant to provoke, and in that small space of time, all eyes quietly ask the same question. What will you say? It is strange how quickly people expect noise, a defense, an explanation, a quick reply to restore balance to the room. But sometimes something different happens. Sometimes nothing happens at all. You remain still. Your eyes soften. Your breath stays steady. The words that could easily rise to your lips simply do not come, and this silence begins to confuse them. They shift slightly. They glance at one another. The air grows heavier with unspoken thoughts. Did you not hear them? Did you not understand? Or perhaps, are you too weak to respond? This is what they often think when silence appears. They believe strength must always sound loud. They believe dignity must defend itself immediately. But the truth is quieter than that. Inside, something deeper is happening. 1,000 thoughts pass through the mind in that small moment. Words you could say, arguments you could win, reactions that would satisfy the crowd for a few seconds. It would be easy. So easy. Just a few sharp words, and the silence would disappear. Yet something within you pauses, not out of fear, not out of confusion, but out of awareness. You begin to notice something that many people miss. You notice how quickly emotion tries to take control, how fast the heart begins to beat, how easily pride wants to step forward and defend its ground, and for a brief moment, you simply watch. You watch the feeling rise, and you watch it settle again. The room may still be waiting. Their eyes may still search your face, but inside, a quiet question appears. Is this moment truly worth my peace? It is a simple question. Yet it carries a quiet kind of wisdom. Many people never ask it. They respond before the thought even arrives. Their words rush forward like water breaking through a dam. Later they regret them. Later they wish they had waited. But tonight, something is different. You allow the moment to breathe. You feel the silence expand gently around you. It is not an empty silence. It is not a defeated silence. It is a thoughtful silence. And in that stillness, something unexpected happens. The power of the moment slowly shifts. Those who expected noise now face something unfamiliar. The absence of reaction. The absence of conflict. They cannot easily argue with quiet. They cannot easily fight calmness. And so they begin to wonder, what are you thinking? Why are you not responding? But the truth is simple. You are not trying to prove anything. You are simply observing the room, observing the emotions that move through people like wind through tall grass. Some are restless. Some are eager for tension. Some are quietly hoping the moment will pass. And in the middle of it all, you remain steady. It may only last a few seconds. Yet those seconds reveal something important. Not every moment deserves your voice. Not every challenge deserves your attention. And not every misunderstanding needs to be corrected. Sometimes the most powerful choice is the one that feels the most unusual. The choice to remain still. The choice to let silence hold the moment. Many people will misunderstand it. They may believe you have nothing to say. They may believe you have no answer. But the quiet truth is something else entirely. You are learning something rare. Something that cannot be rushed. Something that reveals itself only in moments like these. The quiet strength of not reacting. At first, the silence feels heavier than expected. When you do not answer, people begin to fill the quiet with their own meanings. They search for explanations that make sense to them. And often, those explanations are not kind. They may look at you and quietly decide that you are unsure, that you have nothing to say, that you are unable to defend yourself. Some may whisper to one another. Some may shake their heads slowly, as if they understand the situation better than you do. It is a strange feeling, being misunderstood while standing calmly in the middle of it all. Part of you notices their expressions, the small glances they exchange, the quiet judgments that move through the room like a cold breeze. And for a moment, a familiar urge appears. The urge to correct them, to explain yourself clearly, to show them that they are wrong, to prove that your silence is not weakness. That urge is natural. It rises in the heart almost automatically. After all, no one enjoys being misunderstood. No one enjoys feeling as though their quietness has been mistaken for something smaller. But something inside you continues to watch. It watches the urge without rushing to follow it. You begin to notice something curious about these moments. The more silent you remain, the more restless others can become. They expect movement. They expect reaction. When it does not come, their thoughts begin to grow louder. Sometimes they repeat their words again, hoping to draw you out. Sometimes they push a little harder, adding another remark, another comment, another small spark meant to start a fire. But the fire never arrives. And so they grow confused. Why does nothing happen? Why does this quiet person simply remain still? It is in these moments that the weight of silence becomes clear. Silence is not always peaceful in the beginning. Sometimes it feels lonely. You stand in a space where others have already decided who you are. They believe they understand your thoughts. They believe they can measure your strength by the number of words you speak. Yet they do not see what is happening inside. Inside, there is patience. Inside, there is observation. Inside, there is a slow understanding, forming like the first light before dawn. You begin to realize that people often speak from their own storms. Their words are shaped by their fears, their pride, their impatience. And when those storms pass through them, they expect everyone else to move with the same wind. But you do not have to follow that wind. You can simply stand. It is not always comfortable. Silence asks something difficult from the heart. It asks you to endure the feeling of being misread, To accept that not everyone will understand your quiet choices. To allow others to hold their assumptions without rushing to remove them. This can feel unfair at first. Why should you carry the weight of their misunderstanding? Why should your calmness be mistaken for weakness? These questions pass through the mind like drifting clouds. Yet with time, another thought gently follows them. Perhaps not every misunderstanding needs to be corrected. Perhaps some judgments are only passing shadows. When the sun moves, the shadow disappears on its own. And slowly, something begins to settle inside you. You realize that explaining yourself to every voice would require endless energy, endless effort, endless noise. But silence requires something different. It requires trust. Trust that your actions will speak when the time is right. Trust that truth does not always need immediate defense. And trust that the people who truly understand and will not need a long explanation. As this understanding grows, the weight of being misread begins to feel lighter. Their whispers become distant. Their judgments lose their sharp edges. Because deep within, you begin to see something they cannot yet see. Silence is not empty. Silence is a quiet space where strength learns to breathe. There comes a quiet moment, often when no one else is watching, when the heart begins to understand something new. Not suddenly, not like a loud discovery, but slowly, like the soft light that appears before sunrise. You sit with your thoughts. The voices of others have faded for now. The room is calm again. And in that calm, you begin to reflect on the moments that once felt so heavy. The sharp words, the expectations, the silence that followed. At first, you wondered if you had done the right thing by saying nothing. You questioned yourself quietly. Should I have answered? Should I have defended myself? These questions visit the mind like old travelers returning to familiar roads. But this time, something inside you responds differently. You begin to see the moment from a wider place, not from the quick emotion that once tried to rise, but from a deeper stillness that has been growing quietly within you. You remember how quickly anger tried to appear, how easily pride wanted to take control. The mind had prepared many answers, sharp answers, clever answers, answers that might have won the moment. And yet, something had stopped you. Something quiet. Something patient. Now you begin to understand what that quiet feeling was. It was not weakness. It was awareness. Awareness that not every moment deserves a battle. Awareness that many arguments are only small circles that lead nowhere. Words moving back and forth without ever reaching truth. Have you ever noticed this? Two voices rise, each trying to did taller than the other. Each word becomes stronger, sharper, heavier. But when the moment passes, what remains? Often, only tired hearts, only regret, only the quiet wish that fewer words had been spoken. This is what your silence had protected you from. Your silence had stepped away from the circle before it could begin. And as this understanding settles deeper into your heart, another thought gently appears. Not every voice deserves an answer. This is a difficult truth for many people to accept. From a young age, we are taught to respond quickly, to defend ourselves when challenged, to prove our thoughts, our feelings, our worth. But the quiet wisdom of life often teaches something different. Some words are not seeking understanding. Some words are only seeking reaction. They are small sparks thrown into the air, hoping to start a fire. If you catch the spark, the fire begins. If you simply watch it fall, it fades into nothing. This realization brings a quiet kind of freedom. You begin to see that silence is not empty space. It is a choice, a careful choice, a thoughtful pause between what happens outside and what you allow to live inside your heart. And the more you observe this, the clearer life becomes. You notice how easily people give their peace away. A single comment can disturb an entire day. A single misunderstanding can grow into long arguments that change nothing. Yet the person who learns to pause, who learns to breathe before reacting, walks a different path, not a louder path, not a path that demands attention, but a calmer one. You begin to feel it within yourself, the small distance between feeling and reaction, the quiet space where you can choose your response or choose none at all. This space is precious. In this space, patience grows. In this space, patience grows. In this space, you begin to see the true shape of strength. It is not the strength that raises its voice. It is the strength that knows when silence is wiser than victory. As this realization settles gently into your heart, something inside you becomes lighter. You no longer feel the same urgency to answer every misunderstanding. You no longer feel the need to chase every judgment. Instead, you begin to trust something quieter. You trust that your peace is more valuable than winning a moment. And sometimes, the greatest answer a person can give to the noise of the world is a calm and thoughtful silence. As time passes, the quiet choice you once made begins to change something within you. At first, it was only a single moment. A moment when you chose silence instead of reaction. But slowly, almost without noticing, that moment becomes a small habit, a quiet way of moving through the world. You begin to see situations differently now. When sharp words appear, when tension fills the air, you no longer feel the same pull to step into the noise. Instead, you pause, not with effort, but with a calm that has grown naturally inside you. Others may still react quickly. Their voices rise and fall like waves during a restless night. One comment leads to another. One emotion stirs the next. But you watch these moments the way a person watches the wind move through distant trees. You see it. You understand it, yet you do not feel the need to run toward it. This quiet habit changes the way people see you, though they may not understand why. Some may still mistake your calmness for distance. Some may still believe you are silent because you have nothing to say. But others begin to notice something different. They notice that you are not easily shaken. They notice that when tension appears, Your voice does not rush forward. Your expression remains steady. Your words, when they do come, are few and gentle. And slowly, something curious happens. The same silence that once confused people begins to settle the room when someone who is calm speaks. Others often listen more carefully. When someone rarely reacts, their quiet presence carries a kind of weight. But you are not trying to create this effect. You are simply protecting something that has become very important to you: your peace. You have begun to understand that peace is fragile when it depends on the behavior of others. If every careless word can disturb it, then it will always remain uncertain. But when peace grows from within, it becomes steady. It no longer asks the world to be quiet. It simply remains quiet itself. And this quietness becomes a quiet form of strength. Not the strength that pushes against others. Not the strength that tries to win, but the strength that stands calmly in its own place. You no longer feel the same need to explain yourself. The same urge to correct every misunderstanding has faded. Those who wish to understand will understand with time. Those who do not will continue to see only what they are ready to see. And strangely, this no longer troubles you. There is freedom in allowing others to hold their thoughts without trying to reshape them. There is peace in allowing moments to pass without chasing them. The habit of silence grows stronger each day, though it remains invisible to most people. They see only the calm surface. They do not see the patience beneath it. They do not see the many small choices that protect that calmness. The decision not to respond to every voice. The decision to step away from arguments that lead nowhere. The decision to guard the quiet space inside the heart. These choices are not loud. They do not ask for recognition, yet they slowly shape a life that feels lighter. You walk through the same world as everyone else. The same words are spoken, the same tensions rise and fall. But within you, something has changed. There is more space between what happens and how you respond. More patience between what you hear and what you allow to enter your heart. And in that space, you discover something rare, a quiet confidence. You do not need to prove your strength with noise. You do not need to defend your peace with endless words. You simply carry it with you, like a calm river that continues to move forward, whether others notice it or not. And while they remain busy reacting to every passing moment, you continue walking your path quietly, with a steady heart and nothing left to explain.